All right, we're up to question number 25. An unexpected raise in the cost of living, as well as a decline in employment opportunities, resulted in the rapid creation by Congress of new government programs for the unemployed. All right, so let's check our answers. An unexpected raise in the cost of living. So this is very subtle. I don't know if you pause the video and try to get this yourself, or if you got it yourself. This is very subtle. This is a little challenge between two very similar words that have basically the same meaning in just different context. A raise, if you're using the noun, a raise, usually use that to refer to a raise in salary, a raise in pay. This one should actually be a rise, an unexpected rise in the cost of living, meaning the cost of living went up. So it is actually choice A on this one. It's a vocabulary switch. And just to give you the other side of the situation, when it comes to the verbs raise and rise, because there are verbs directly associated with this, this can get a bit tricky. And even native speakers can get a little bit, I guess, stumped if you ask them the difference between raise and rise. This can be tricky, but here it is. Two examples. One will raise, one will rise. He rises in the morning, which is from the verb. Basically, it's the non-phrasal verb of to get up. He rises in the morning. So this verb is intransitive. It does not take an object. On the other hand, he raises his hand at school. And so this is basically, raise is the non-phrasal version of to put up. So this one is transitive. We have a subject, we have a verb, we have an object, his hand. And you can raise a flag, you can raise just anything you can pick up, and you can raise it. So this is a transitive verb. This can take an object. This one is not transitive. This one is not transitive. So that's the big difference, and sometimes they test you for that on the TOEFL. Here they kind of tested you on the use of the noun. So A should be rise. Let's take a look at the other answers, though. As well as, which just is a substitute for and, so an unexpected rise in the cost of living, and a decline. So decline is going down, so we have something going up and something going down. Decline in employment opportunities, so that's okay. So B is okay. Resulted in, and they were just trying to see if you knew if this verb takes a preposition, and it does. So that this verb is intransitive, but it takes a preposition to connect it to a complement. And then rapid creation, I think they were just trying to see if you knew that you should use an adjective and not an adverb, and rapid creation is good. It's fine. This is describing a noun. And that's it. The rest of it is okay. And at the end, if you just were curious about this, the unemployed, we have an adjective typically used to describe people, and a determiner, the, and this usually describes a plural group of people, the unemployed, the rich, the poor. So if you see that in another position, like in the beginning here, and you have a verb associated with it, it's going to take the plural version of the verb. The unemployed are angry, or the rich have a lot of money. So remember that, just in case you see the article the with an adjective that's usually used to describe a person. That's usually referring to a group of people. Okay, moving on. That one got a little bit long. Okay, 26. It is imperative that a graduate student maintains a grade point average of B in his major field. Okay, so So let's take a look at the options here. It is imperative that. Well, this is an impersonal expression. These are quite common. It is imperative that. It is necessary that. It is important that. And hopefully my explaining this has rung a bell for what is really the problem here. So it is imperative that a graduate student maintains a grade point average of B. Student is singular. Maintains. This is in the singular form. It looks okay, but there's something going on here, and even native speakers might get a little bit caught by this. This is actually a subjunctive clause, meaning that there's some necessity. This has to happen according to this. This is imperative. It is imperative that a graduate student, and whenever you have a subordinate or a subjunctive clause, you're going to use a base form of the verb. So the sentence should actually read like this. And here we go. It is imperative that a graduate student maintain the base form, because this is a subjunctive clause, a grade point average of B in his major field. So average of B is okay. In his major field, you have an unknown third person subject. Technically, in the rules of English, you're supposed to use the singular masculine possessive adjective or possessive pronoun to describe that. Many native speakers, though, are using their, like a graduate student maintain a grade point average of B in their, pardon me, in their major field. But technically, this should be his. And that's what a grammarian is going to argue, that it should be the word his. This is a singular subject. It's unknown. We should use the masculine possessive adjective, even though many native speakers, like I said, are using their because they're trying to be neutral with the gender. Now that I've shown you the answer, let me show you how most native speakers will actually say this type of idea. It is important for, and this is the key, not that, but for, it is important for a graduate student to maintain, and they'll use an infinitive, to maintain a grade point average of B in his major field, or in their major field. Most native speakers are going to use the they form to try to keep it neutral, because they don't know if this is a man or a woman. So there you go. These are the two ways of expressing this same idea. The one at the bottom is actually a lot more common. This top one's a little bit more, I guess, formal, a little more old-fashioned, but you might run into that on the TOEFL test. And if you're a speaker of Spanish or possibly another Romance language, this is going to actually make a lot of sense because of the way sentences are set up in Spanish. So anyhow, 26, that's it. Should be maintained. 27. The coastal and inland waters, let's pay attention to that, waters are inhabited not only by fish, but also by such sea creature as shrimps and clams. Okay, well, let's go through the answer. Coastal inland waters are, okay, so are inhabited. This is a passive voice. It means something lives in them. And water is normally singular, non-countable, but this is referring to territorial waters, different bodies of water. They might talk about that, the waters of the British Isles, or around some island. They might talk about the waters around Japan. So waters is okay. That might look like a mistake, but it's not. It's correct. Are inhabited, that's okay. Not only, and when you see a not only, you should immediately look for a but also. So not only by fish, but also, there it is. So these are good. These are correlative. You usually have one and you have the other. So not only by fish, but also by such. Okay, and once again, we have two lines together, so let's look at the whole idea. Such sea creature as shrimps and clams. So these are sea animals, and you probably know what they are. People like to eat these and these ones. Usually shrimp is in singular, but they put them in plural. It's plural. And I think that should give away the answer, that maybe you just need to put on your glasses if you couldn't find this answer. It should be sea creatures, sea animals. So this was actually pretty simple. They were just throwing you a few distractions with this waters, and you got a not only and a but also. Such here is just giving you examples. Such sea creatures as. It's a such as. That's all it is. It's just giving you examples. So this one's actually okay. D is the answer. It should be creatures. All right. Not too tricky, as long as you had your glasses working. All right. Let's go to 28. Economists have tried to discourage the use. So this is the use. This is the noun. Economists have tried to discourage the use of the phrase underdeveloped nation and encourage the more accurate phrase developing nation in order to suggest an ongoing process. Okay. So let's take a look here. Economists have tried to discourage. That's okay. Try takes an infinitive. So that's good. The use, that's a noun. The use of something, so that's a good. The use of the phrase, that's fine. Underdeveloped nation and encouraging the more accurate phrase. Yeah, that's okay. The more accurate phrase. They're trying to tell you not to say this one, and they're trying to tell you to say this one. So this is sort of a comparison. And if you really look closely, I think you're going to catch it. We kind of did one like this earlier. Have tried to discourage the use of the phrase underdeveloped nation, and it's C, to encourage, if you're going to keep it parallel. To discourage, to encourage. So both of these are tied back to the verb tried. And you don't have to say to encourage. You could just say encourage, because we're using the same preposition twice. So encourage, it can't be a gerund because it's parallel. It should be infinitive. And the reason it's not A and it is C is because we cannot change A to something else. This has to be an infinitive because it's connected to the verb try, and try always takes infinitives if you're going to add a second verb. So if this is an infinitive, then this must be infinitive. So this has to be to encourage or just encourage, since we're using, like I said, the same preposition twice. It's choice C on that one. And we're just about out of time for this video, so we'll see you in the next video.